guys, you're welcome, and today we are going to be solving some problems just to out of the whole problems, just to show us that we can actually solve using these titles that we got from our virtual lab, just as if we are solving from the values we would have gotten from a real lab. So let's quickly go back to the question. It says, so we're going to just solve question A and B. So the concentration of A in mole per dn cube and concentration of B in mole per dn cube. So we quickly go back to our whiteboard, and then we're going to first of all jot down some information. So the first thing we're going to write is the volume of our pipette, which is the volume of our base. So we use 25 centimeter cube. So we're going to have volume of pipette equal to 25 cm cubed, and the indicator we used is methyl orange, as we were instructed. So we use indicator methyl orange. Then we are going to draw up a table. All right, guys. So you can now draw our table. So we're going to draw our table. All right. So here we are going to have our burette reading. And it's going to be in cm cubed. And then we are going to have our, in most cases, some people go for rough. Okay. And then you have your first. By the way, let me clean up this, because you also have to indicate that your rough is in cm cubed. Then you have your first titre, which is also in cm cubed. You have your second titre, which is also in cm cubed. And then you have your third. Some people stop at second, but having 3 is also good for accuracy's sake. So we're going to now draw lines on our table to actually separate them. So after we are done with this, this is going to be our final reading as our final burette reading. Then we're going to have initial reading, and we are going to have volume of acid used. Okay, for all our initials, they were 0.00. As for all our initials, 0.00. Remember, I said I'm skipping rough, but it is advisable that you do that before you continue. And in our first reading, we got 27.10. Second reading, we got 26.50. And third reading, we got 27.20. Okay, so this is basically how it's going to be. Okay, so immediately you're done with this, the next thing you do is find the average volume of acid used. So average volume of acid used. And to find the average volume of acid used, remember I'm going to skip this rough. So volume of acid used here is 27.10, 26.50, because finally we have 27.20. So to find the average volume of acid used, you are going to have 27.10 plus 26.50 plus 27.20 all divided by 3. All right, so let's do the quick calculation and see what we have. So we're going to have 27.10 plus 26.50 plus 27.50 plus 27.20. That will give us 80.80 divided by 3. So when we divide it by 3, we are going to have 26.93 cm cubed. So this particular value is important for our question. Remember, the first question says that we should, number one says concentration, we should find the concentration of A in mole per cm cubed. But remember, in the question, they give us the mass of A instead of the concentration in mole per dm cube. So they give us that A is a solution of 3.80 gram per dm cubed. So we're going to use this formula to solve for this. So we're going to have the formula that connects mole with mass and molar mass. So it is actually mole equal to mass over molar mass. Okay. Now remember, one of the first things you should have done is actually write the chemical equation of the reaction, which we are going to have HCl plus XOH, which will give us H2O plus XCl. And if you look at the equation, it is balanced. So all of them have 1 mole each of the substance. All right. So we have also the details where H is equal to 1 and we have O is equal to 16 and Cl is equal to 35.5. So this will help us in solving for the molar mass of HCl. So we have the mole, we have the mass already. Now we need to find the molar mass, which is HCl. That will give us 1 plus 35.5, which will give us 36.5. So we now substitute all this into this equation. So we are going to have mole is equal to 3.80 all over 36.5. And when we divide, so what will we get if we divide? That will give us 0.104 mole per cm cubed. So basically, we are solving the same things that you could have solved if you were using a real lab. Now, let's quickly solve the second question, which asked us. So the second question says we should find concentration of B in mole per dm cubed. So this is basically, but then the problem is our B is XO what? H. So we don't know X. So there's no way we can find their molar mass like we did in A. So in this situation, we are going to use a formula CABA all over CBBB equal to NA over NB. Now, let's look at this, where CA, which is 0.104 mole per cm cubed, and our VA, that is the average volume of acid used, which we got as 26 points here, one circled in red, which we got as 26.93. So our average volume of acid used is 26.93 cm cubed. Now our CB is what we are looking for. We don't know that, that's concentration of the base. And our VB is the volume of the pipette. So the volume of the pipette is our CB, which is 25 cm cubed. So we have 25 cm cubed. Now our NA and MB will be taken from the equation. So we have 1 mole concentration of all 1 mole of all these compounds that reacted. So we're going to have Na as 1 and Mb as 1. So we're going to have is equal to 1 and is equal to 1. Are we clear now? So we quickly go over to start solving and substituting. So our Ca already is 0.104 multiplied by 26.93 all over CB multiplied by 25 is equal to 1 over 1. So we can cross multiply quickly. So we have 0.104 multiply 26.93 equal to CB times 25. So let us quickly multiply and see. That will give us, this will give us 2.801 is equal to 25. This will give you 25 CB. So we divide by the coefficient of what? CB, that is 25. Divide both sides by what? 25. So this will cancel this. This will divide this. So we have CB as, so the concentration of B here will be 0.112 mole per cm cube. So this is basically everything you need to know in titration, or the basic things you need to know in titration. But the sole aim of this video was not to solve the question, rather it was to show educators that you can actually achieve the same aim, or the same aim you want to achieve in a real lab also in your virtual lab, especially when you don't have access to the lab on the spot, or so for some reason the laboratory is not well equipped. The virtual lab cannot totally replace the real lab, but it can actually help in making learning a lot more fun. Also can form as a substitute or an addition, a complement to a real lab environment. On that note, I will see you in my next class. Keep practicing and I'll keep finding apps and softwares that will help us make learning more fun, engaging, and a lot more easier. Thank you and stay blessed.